Never really know what's going to come out of this mouth, so just showing up to see what comes through today. I thought about doing a live on the Nurture Your Soul Facebook page, but there's quite a few followers who are not in Facebook land that really like the YouTube thing, so I'm going to try and be better about doing that, even though it takes an extra step of uploading and all of that. Yeah. Let's see what shows up. Right now, Milo's laying next to me. He's got his lightning jacket on because the Seattle Seahawks are playing right now, and all my neighbors like to set off fireworks when they score. And he hates fireworks. He gets terrified. Come here, Milo. Come here. Come here. So he's got his little lightning jacket on, and you'll probably hear him panting his little head off. He's covered in essential oils, but he's still distressed. Right, Bubba? So we just love them patiently, like a newborn child, right? Like a baby. And we just remind them that they're okay. And look how he calms right down while I'm holding him. A second ago he was shaking, panting, but at this moment he's listening to my voice. The shaking has stopped. The panting has stopped. He's even kind of falling asleep in my arms. Right? That's what love does. That's the nature of mother. Mother being life. Mother being God. Mother being universe. Whatever you want to call it. And it really points to what seems to be speaking here lately through Nurture Your Soul, which is really recognizing the component of the mind and how it operates. Someone on the Nurture Your Soul page today asked, the sharing today on there was about, it was actually a quote from Byron Katie. Let me pull it up because I think it really succinctly points to everything that's being shared lately on the page. Well, has been for 12 years. Beautiful, beautiful, misunderstood, benevolent life. Anyone that does not love the dream world hasn't understood that life is mind and that there's nothing outside of it. It's lost as long as it believes what it thinks, that it is its job to believe what it thinks, until finally one day it sets itself free. And that's the sharing on the Nurture Your Soul page today. It's also what's coming through with Milo today. It's what's coming through apparently in synchronizations today, in the inquiries on Facebook or YouTube. There are no synchronicities. There's no coincidences, guys. I speak about this from my near-death experience, and I say it often. Free will is part of this illusion. And this is all unfolding not just because of you, but for you. That feels like even the words themselves speak to some free will, like you're making a choice. But back it up a little bit. The mind is nothing more than a computer. In just a few seconds, I just showed you that with Milo, right? The one full of anxiety, shaking, terrified, listening to this mind could so easily be distracted by another program. You just watched me change the program, the movie, the script. In 2 seconds, another firework could go off and the shaking resumes. The mind takes over, the mind clicks back to that other program, that other screen, the one called anxiety. The body shakes, the panting begins or resumes, and the one that thinks it's doing it all or causing it all or formulating it all feeds into the storyline. It simply could not be any other way, because the movie needs to play. That's its job. The movie needs to play. The script needs to run. The character needs the part. And we being the one that seems to be orchestrating all of this, wants to keep that momentum going. Because the simplicity of it all is that something is behind all of it, witnessing it. And that's our truth. Whatever you want to call that. God, witness, awareness, consciousness, never is moved by any of this. It has no interest in the outcome, because the outcome to it is always just continuous, unwavering, unmoved aliveness, which is boundless. It can't be killed, can't be destroyed. So it's not ruled by the computer mind, which says, you can eject me, you can cut this film, you can switch to another storyline. Don't. That's the mind's job. Don't kill me. Don't end my storyline. Don't cut me out of this series. I'm having too much fun. How do I know I'm having too much fun? Because I seem to have engaged the witness at the level where it's believing me. It's really funny when you start to see it, really start to see it. Milo is peacefully sleeping in my lap right now. I did nothing more than help him change the storyline. But you don't need someone else to do that. We all have that variability, and it's not free will, it's a subtle willingness to notice. You're not making a choice. You seem to be aware, or awareness seems to be opening enough, just a tiny space, to notice, I've fallen into the part. I've fallen into believing I'm the part. Let's see how we can say this another way. You're moving through your day. Peacefully, it seems, in synchronicity with life. It's just flowing. The day's going beautiful. The sun's out. There's no traffic. You're hitting every green light. It's awesome. You're playing your favorite song in the car. Sorry, I'm freezing. You're playing your favorite song in the car. Someone cuts you off. Instantly. Mood changes. Anger erupts. Discord arrives. Stories kick off. Upset seems to take over. But what really changed? Sit with this for a minute. What really changed? Well, I find my heating blanket and make sure it's on high, because it is so cold in Seattle today, right, Milo? What changed? What moved? Our acceptance of the moment, or our unacceptance of the moment. That's it. We seem to lean towards that which feels good to us, the flow. When the flow seems to be happening, life seems to be giving us green lights in all directions. Bam, 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 synchronicity after synchronicity after synchronicity. The light's green. My favorite song is on. The sun is shining perfectly over my car right now. Bam, someone cuts me off. The mood changes. What changed? Our disagreement with the moment. That's it. Seems to be a subtle difference. We seem to think we're creating that free will, but the reality is it just seems to be a subtle realization that we're either leaning into the energy or we're leaning away from it. And in between those two variables, there's a subtle crack that says this too is part of the moment. This too, whatever this is part of the moment. Do you think Milo's reacting to the firework when he's still shaking 10 minutes after it's happened? Or he's listening for the next one that's going to come? What's the reaction to? That moment caused me dis-ease. It could come again, or it just came. But what's happening right now? Absolutely nothing. It is this subtle, you guys. It is this subtle. We want to make it harder. We want to think that we have a choice, so we have someone or something to blame. We want to think that we are creating this so that we can control it. We can put our oars in the water and we can go to the stuff that feels good and move away from the stuff that doesn't. One of the biggest belief systems that we've been choked down in all of these spiritual books is that somehow awakening is blissful and we remain in bliss once we've seen through the illusion. And that's just not true. Discord still arises. Life still has bumps in the road, or apparent bumps in the road. The difference is when we're in the flow, when we're trusting this, when we just recognize that it's not good or bad, there seems to be the ability to recognize that life is pulling us in the right direction and always has us in the flow. We name it bad. We name it wrong. We can't see the gift in it in that moment. We can't see that the car accident is preventing something ahead. We can't see that the firework may never happen again. We're already stressing about it. We're always in some past or future mode. We're ready to react, or we're ready to move away from, avoid. Buddy, it's all done. It's okay. Yeah, it's all done. Yes, certainly we have tender mothers that hold us in these experiences. But even that is something that's designed perfectly, right on time, in the right way. Synchronicity, whatever you want to call it, the flow of life, the moments where we seem to have to hold ourselves versus be held are part of it too. It's all part of the play. I just thought I'd pop on. I'm not going to stay on for long, but it seems like that's the message coming through right now, thanks to Milo. Right? Can we change the program? This is a computer. Notice, meditation is feeding it the program. What's the feed? What's the feed of the moment? What's the thing that switches the program? A willingness to pay attention. A willingness to recognize you aren't the program. See, his witness just kicked in. You aren't the program. Right? Now notice, he's listening to my voice. You aren't the program. Did you know that? And when I feed you a new program, what happens? What happens when I feed you a new program? Awareness pulls us to that new program. It's another thing to notice is that because the mind is a computer, it seems to only be able to hold on to a concept for a certain amount of time. So as the concept program changes, the character seems to shift to that concept program. Peace, or fear of the next moment, fear of the past moment, anxiety of the current moment, anxiety of the next moment. What concept is being fed? Till next time. It's worth looking at.